Well, good evening and welcome to the fourth gin night in with York Gin. Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, my darling.
So today we have a little bit of a royal flavour. We like a queen of any description, and Her Majesty was 94 this week.
She was, but since she couldn't get her 41 gun salute, we're giving her a gin salute. Only one letter changed. Hurrah!
Hooray! Now, before we start on our royal odyssey or whatever we're going on, we're all a little bit giddy here at York Gin because last night at the York Tourism Awards, we won Best Shop for our shop in York.
Yay! Oh, what's not to love?
We are so thrilled. So thrilled. It's for
fabulous shop, fabulous product.
We're amazing, and we just thank you to everyone that's ever been in the shop, and thank you to every single person who has been into our shop and who works for York Gin. We're a massive team. Well done, everyone! Yay! Yay! On with the royal stuff. That's what you're here for.
On with the royals. On with the Annie Harrison, yes.
Oh,
join the Queens of York Gin.
Exactly. Well, happy birthday to Ellie as well. She's 18 today. Congratulations, Ellie. Oh, so what would we start with? Of course, we're going to start with the Queen's favourite cocktail. Now, the Queen, she looks quite stern sometimes, so you wouldn't have thought she likes a tipple, but she very much likes a tipple. So here we go. I've got my little shaker. In there is some ice already. I'm going to put and eagle-eyed viewers.
One of your cats just went to
I'm so sorry about the cat.
Excuse me, we did cats last week.
Yes,
get off.
You go. You jolly well. Right, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that actually I'm going to use the big side of my measure for this because Her Madge quite likes a stiffy, as it were. So in there, I'm going to put one large.
Kirsty and Sam in the living room.
Excellent. I was just one large York Gin Classic. We're then going to put 2 large Dubonnet.
Does it have a puss on the front, Susanna?
Of course it has a puss on the front. That's, of course, why my Paris cat was coming to look. See,
there it is. It's a very lovely cat, actually.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? So
I'll show them the cat while you're doing that. Look, isn't that lovely?
So there's 2 Dubonnets. Okay, and I'm just going to give that a little. That is it. It's hardly a cocktail. It's like a lethal concoction. I'm just going to give that a little mix up. I'm going to pour that into my cocktail glass with a little bit of ice in there already.
Ooh, hurry up, Jackie. Get that gin.
And the Queen is very particular about how she likes that. She likes it with a thin slice of lemon with no pips.
No pips, darling. Oh, there's my nephew. Daniel, you're gonna be in a picture later. You'll hang around and you'll see yourself.
Daniel,
as a very little boy.
Now, Dubonnet is like a Martini Rosso, but just a little bit sweeter. So the Queen has a bit of a sweet old tooth, doesn't she?
Yes, apparently.
Cheers. Off you go. It's your turn. What are you making for us?
So shall I do I'm going to be making a royal gin fizz. And you can get a gin fizz, but this one's royal because it's got champagne instead of soda water. And of course, with it being the Queen's birthday, I thought I would crack my last bottle of tat that I have in the fridge. So, right then. So what we have is an egg white, which I've been furiously whisking up with a fork here because I can't find my whisk anywhere. Typical. Some lemon juice, some sugar syrup, and I'm going to use Outlaw today.
Nice.
With a nice strong. Oh well, obviously it's the Navy strength London Dry. So I think that'll be very, very nice with the mixture. So I'm going to put a shot of that in.
Lovely.
Pour it all into the cocktail shaker. The shaker maker. Mark's just showing me this amazing way of doing this glass with it. And I'm a bit dubious, but give it a try.
That's a proper pro shake there, Joe.
I know, steady. Right, let's see how we get on with that. Oh, it smells nice. What can I say? Oh, I love an egg white based one actually. Topping it up.
Yeah.
Well, I say topping it up. I'm not going to put too much in, or I'll be under the table before we even start.
Clean out my jar while you finish off.
And a little maraschino cherry on the top there.
Ooh, thank you.
In fact, I'm being really greedy. I've put 3 in. Cheers.
Very, very good. Right, that's I'm all cheersed out. Here you go, darling. Happy birthday, Queen. Now, the Queen, as we know, was 94.
Oh my God, that's actually yummy.
Oh, good. I'm really pleased. Mine's actually quite yummy. It's a tiny bit sweet for me, but actually quite delicious. She has one of these every day before lunch. Did you know that?
Oh, how interesting. You could always add a bit more gin to take some of the sweetness away, Susanna.
Yeah, do you know? No, I think it's a long show. Maybe I nearly did add some more gin there. I would have been the rock on which I perished. So the birthday is not this well. It's actually her actual birthday was this week. Her official birthday is the second Saturday in June. And do you also know what day that is, Joe?
What's that? Sorry, I was busy looking at the side there.
Oh,
sorry.
The second Saturday of June, which is the Queen's official birthday, is also World Gin Day. So Your Majesty. And it was considered that she has a second birthday because being an April birthday, it was considered too cold. Has she been out there this week? It's been
I know, gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. I hope lots of you are watching from your garden. It's so nice.
I hope so. We need to do shout outs. So there is a lady called Maureen Rose Mayer. I hope I've pronounced that right. She's one of our regular viewers and it's actually her birthday today. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, my love.
And we have to say happy birthday to Amber. Happy birthday. So just welcome to Amber and family who are watching for the first time this evening, to the Man Clan who are always there, and obviously to the Love House who are always joining us. So,
and the Lockies, I'm sure the Lockwoods are in there as well.
They will most definitely be in there. So we're just about
Nikki Davis, we're sure. Hold your horses there. Will be more about Dubonnet in a minute.
Don't you worry, we love a Dubonnet. In fact, didn't it used to be like a sort of a bit of a grandma's drink, a Dubonnet and lemonade?
Yeah. Well, it actually goes back all the way back to Napoleonic times.
Wow.
It's really old, a very old aperitif. Very, very old, yeah.
But it's actually, I'm quite enjoying it. I don't think I've had one of these probably in 30 years, but I'm not
sure I ever have.
I don't think so. Right, we best get on with the quiz before we start. So as usual, there will be a discount code at the end of the quiz, which will get you 10% off any purchase from www.yorkgin.com this week. And also there'll be a spot prize, won't there, Joe?
Always a spot prize.
Yes,
Sandy, I was just trying to tell Susanna to add another gin, but
yeah, I know.
She wants to stay standing.
Shall I, people? It's like
go for it.
Pour a little bit more in. There you go. It's much nicer.
While she's pouring that, hello to Carol Weaver.
Hello, Carol.
Hello. My oldest friends. I think we've probably known each other about 50 years.
Oh, my Lord. Don't give away your age, Joe.
Oh.
So the good news is there are 3 rounds of questions this week. The first one is a royal knees up, which is tricky to say. The second one is cocktails and queens. And the third one is queens of screen. And we take the word queen quite loosely. There are many different queens in our world, and we're going to have a look at some of the best ones. So let's get started with round 1.
Right, then off we go.
That's me. So for almost 200 years, the Royal Navy gave all newly commissioned ships a gin commissioning kit. So I would like to know what was in the gin commissioning kit.
I'd like one of those.
I would like one of those. It looks very fancy, doesn't it? And the answer is not just gin. I wanted something a little bit more specific than just gin.
Yeah, a bit more specific.
A little bit more specific. Yeah, but there it is. So what was in the gin commissioning kit?
Hello, Tabitha Maria from Leeds. How are you doing? Right then, over to
Hi, Hilary. Nice to see you too.
Over to more. So you see, Nikki Davis, the Queen Mother also liked Dubonnet. The Queen Mother likes a Dubonnet and gin, and she always liked to make sure that she had some with her wherever she went, because she was famous for her tipple as well.
She was.
Did she transport her bottles in a horse box, a hat box, or the royal box?
Oh, I do hope she transported them in the royal box. That would be so funny.
Well, I can see her in the back of a horse box actually.
Wow,
having a quiet tipple.
Yeah, she liked the GGs, didn't she, Joe? Liked the horse.
Yes, indeed.
So there you go. What did the Queen transport her gin and Dubonnet in? We'll find out.
We will.
Question 3. What is gin used for in royal households to clean? What do they clean? According to royal dressmaker Angela Kelly, do they clean the royal teeth, the royal jewels, or the royal pups? Oh, I hope it's...
Oh, look, who wouldn't love a corgi?
Little corgis. We all love a corgi.
I do.
I don't think I would use gin to clean a corgi, though, Joe. I'm not sure I would.
Well, who's to say?
Who is to say, indeed? Over to you, my darling.
Okay, the next question is on the next page. Who was responsible for the gin craze in the late 1600s? No, it was really late on. It was almost nearly the 1700s.
Yeah.
Was it Louis XIV, William of Orange?
Yes.
Or our very own Keith Lemon, or maybe one of his ancestors.
Keith of Lemon. I hope it was Keith of Lemon. I really do.
Keith Lemonus.
I would love it to be Keith Lemon. That'd be hilarious. Right. Okay. The next question in this round is, who famously said after a meeting with the firm, "Oh, I really need a gin and tonic"? Was it Camilla Parker Bowles, or was it Tony Blair, or was it Sarah Ferguson? So who said after a meeting with the firm, "I really need a gin and tonic"? Was it Camilla Parker Bowles? Was it Tony Blair, or was it Sarah Ferguson, or Fergie, as we knew her? I think she was into toes, wasn't she, at one point?
Steady. Well, feet certainly. Yeah, well, I probably all needed one. No, Daniel, I haven't tried that tonic. You'll have to tell me about that later.
Oh, crikey.
Something called Cushy Do's tonic without any quinine.
Oh, how interesting. How interesting. We often get sent odd bits and pieces of tonic, don't we? But we always
go back to our we generally stick to our favourite.
Our fever-tree. We always stick with our fever-tree.
Because it doesn't overpower the flavour of the gin. We do like that one. But, you know, we're always open to suggestion.
Try.
Okay, then. Question 2.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, Jojo. Was this not the end of the round? Are we not going back for answers? I think we might.
I thought you'd already done that.
No, we haven't done answers. People want to do answers. Right. I
haven't even had 3 sips from my drink yet, and we're already out. I told you.
It's already out of control.
It's okay. This morning I thought it was May the 24th.
You did say that this morning. You'd lost an entire month. That's really good.
I know. I'm on a gin and tonic diet.
So back to question 1, which was all about that gin commissioning kit. So anybody that said gin, yes, of course there was gin in it. But actually, very specifically, there was Navy strength gin. So you can see up there York Gin Outlaw. And there were 2 bottles of Navy strength gin, and also 2 glasses, so matching glassware. I don't think York Gin was invented then, but if it was, they would look splendid in a gin commissioning kit.
Exactly. If it was invented, it would have been the gin of choice. There's no question about it.
No question whatsoever. And did you know, as an interesting fact, that, well, I think we've covered this before in a previous question, a previous week, that limes were more readily available than lemons. So they often served limes with their gin. Who knew? And it was obviously to get rid of scurvy, which everybody knows. Yeah. Did you know that it was actually, that's where the term limeys for sort of sailors?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. That's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't know they used limes instead of lemons either. So
no, I wouldn't have thought that limes were more readily available, but there you go. So they are. Who knew? Question 2.
So it is my turn now. Can I do it now?
You can do it now. Yeah.
Right then. How did the Queen Mum transport her bottles? And the answer, of course, is in the hat box. So if I just remove this crown from here, and here is the hat box with the Queen Mum's favourite tipple.
And what did she like, Jojo?
Well, she liked a Dubonnet gin in 2 ways, apparently. Mostly in a glass and mostly a lot of it. But apparently 50-50, which is what I've done today. Yeah. So I've done it with London Dry, our York Classic London Dry, and the Dubonnet, which we showed you earlier, and a very large piece of orange.
Yes.
And she didn't like ice with it, but I have to tell you, I'm an absolute pleb, and I have to have ice with more or less everything.
Get the ice in there. Get the ice.
Ice, Siobhan, ice.
Ice. So the Queen liked her. The Queen, our present Queen, likes hers not quite as strong as the Queen Mother. Maybe she learned from her mother's knee that maybe.
Well, apparently Susanna, she apparently also drank it 30 Dubonnet to 70 gin.
Oh, get her.
Which is probably what Sandy was saying earlier, because it would make it slightly less sweet, wouldn't it? Cheers.
And of course, you know what we forgot to say?
What?
You are actually amongst royalty.
Well, I am. Daniel, I hope you're watching. We haven't done that. No, we've not done that one yet.
No, bear with us. We were going to do it.
Oh, yes.
So who is royalty amongst us, Jojo?
Lady
Babe. It is Lady. I am Lady Susanna Babe.
She is Lady. 1 year for Susanna's birthday, I thought, well, what do you get the wonderful lady who has everything? So we got her a piece of land in the Lake District. She actually owns it.
I do.
And she is officially, she could write on her checkbook, Lady Susanna.
Lady Susanna Jane Baines.
Lady Baines. We've always known it.
I know. I would like to be referred throughout this evening as Lady Susanna or Susanna. And actually, if any curtsies could go on, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Always a curtsy for you, my love. Always a curtsy.
Well, back to where we're supposed to be in this quiz, which I believe is question.
It's a bit random tonight, isn't it? You'll have to bear with us.
Bear with.
It's been a hot day.
What was gin used to clean? And it was the royal jewels. Now, according to Angela Kelly, who still is the royal dressmaker for the Queen, a bit of gin and water, and it gives us a diamond a sparkle, apparently. But yet again, not only am I royalty, but I think we have another member of royalty in amongst us. Jojo, tell us about it.
Well, when I got married, my sister, well, Emma's mum, lives next door to a wonderful lady called Doreen Fox, who works for Chelsea Design, and she actually made clothes for Princess Diana and Sarah Ferguson.
Right.
And she very, very kindly offered to make me my royal outfit, my wedding outfit. So I drew it. And Doreen made it. And to bring us back to Bonnet, actually, funnily enough, that jacket that I drew is based on a design from Napoleon's jacket. So there's Napoleon drinking his Bonnet and me wearing his jacket. So how about that? And there at the front, look, my little darling Daniel Hurd.
Look at that haircut,
with
Daniel.
That awful hairdo.
Who did that?
A pudding bowl on his head and chopped round.
Who did that to him? He's never going to speak to that person again.
Shocking, but he was so gorgeous that day. Hello, my love.
Good news, people, is it's much nicer with more gin.
Yes, and I also wanted to say that the royal jewels is actually diamonds and pearls, not Prince Philip's.
Yes, not those jewels. Enough of that. I think he gets them out quite frequently as well, to be honest. But there we go. So, I think we're heading for the tower this evening. But that's All right, Jojo, on to you. Question 4.
Okay, so the answer to this was, of course, William of Orange. Now, William was Dutch born, and he brought over Geneva's or gin with him when he became King of England. And we were at war, I think, with the French. We were at war with the France. So to protect our economy and help the war effort, the government put a heavy duty on import of spirits, so French brandy and whatnot. So everybody turned to making gin, and it was within no time whatsoever, London was awash with gin. I mean, we're talking like, what did I say earlier? Was it something like 100 billion gallons or something? It's something mad, wasn't it? Anyway, and the effects were totally devastating. The vice chamberlain was noted to have said, drunkenness of the common people was universal. The whole town of London swarmed with drunken people from morning till night.
And do you know what, Joe? I've just had a thought. If you swap the word London for York, that would still be true today. That would still... It would be great.
To me, that's my kind of town.
I know, that's my kind of town. Right. So the last question in this round was, who said, I could really do with a gin and tonic? Who was it? It was, of course, Camilla of Parker Bowles. There she is. Apparently, she'd been in a meeting with Prince William, who I guess at the time would have been a relatively stroppy teenager. And she really needed a gin and tonic after that meeting. And who can blame her? Now, did you know, interesting fact about Camilla, that she keeps bees? Did you know that?
I didn't.
Guess what she
is that part of like the Duchy of Cornwall or something like that? Well,
it's not really the Duchy of Cornwall as such. It's just that she keeps the bees, I think, for her own private use, but she does make gin with them.
Oh my gosh.
And
so make a bee's knees like we did last week.
Exactly. Do you remember we did that? What was it last week? I think it was. So that's
with the honey in it.
Yeah. We would definitely be able to make a bee's knees. Now, there was another interesting fact about her honey. And I've completely forgotten who it is that actually gave it as a wedding present to someone really famous. It was Samuel L. Jackson, gave it to someone else film me as a wedding present. But since I've forgotten, we'll move on. That's who cares? Who was?
It might have been an interesting fact if you'd known it, but
if I'd have known it properly, if I hadn't, I'm working my way down this Dubonnet quite nicely, actually. And
I know what you were saying last week about being double parked. I can't choose which one to have.
I'm still double parked because I started off with a classic with fresh raspberries, which I really like.
Oh, steady.
I'm still double parked. and we'll be triple parked later, I'm sure. So that.
Hold on a minute, Glenn Large, who have you met a few times?
Who? What?
He says he's met her a few times. And she's lovely. Well, I don't know. Oh, maybe Camilla, is it?
Camilla, I guess. I think she gets a bit of a bad rap, actually. I've never met her. I don't know anything about her. But if she makes him happy, who cares? Who cares?
Not Glenn, but
no. Well, maybe she makes Glenn happy. Who knows? Maybe that's one of her little tricks.
Yeah, and Annie Harrison wants to know how the devil bees make gin.
Yeah, well, do you know what? They're damn clever bees, Annie Harrison. Really clever bees. No, the honey that the bees make is put in as almost like a botanical in the gin. So there you go.
Well, my cat got stung by a bloody bee the other day. He was chasing them around the garden because, of course, the queens are really heavy and they're low to the ground. Yeah. And my cats are bonkers.
They are mad.
He got himself stung. We ended up at the vets and he's going, so he's all right now. But
all right. Poor Strummer. They're not sharp in the box, though, are they? Maine Coon cats.
They're daft.
No, they're not big on brain, our pussy cats. Anyway,
beautiful but not bright.
Beautiful but not bright. On to round 2, and I believe in the cocktails and queens, it is you to kick us off, Jojo.
Oh, it is. Do you know, I love this photograph. Who is this wonderful, wonderful man? Dressed as Louis XIV for his 50th birthday, and a bonus for the name of his gorgeous husband. Who is that? Do you know what? That wig is 3 feet high.
Good God. And I've worn a few wigs in my time, Joe, but that must be super heavy and super hot.
Oh, no. Can you imagine?
No.
After talking about, I'm going to take my cardi off now.
Oh, she's stripping, everyone. Careful. Yeah,
sorry, I don't look quite so regal now, but I'm getting a bit warm there. So
you've still got your crown on, darling. Notice we've got our
crown
on. Always got your crown on, lovely. That's what we need to see. So, question 2, another fabulous guy. So this is the fabulous Julian Clary. But what I would like to know is who did he say he would like to spend the afternoon alongside his doggies and drinking G&Ts? Would he like to spend the afternoon with a G&T with Princess Diana? Would he like to spend the afternoon with his lovely husband Ian? Or would he like to spend the afternoon with Fanny the Wonder Dog? And for those of us that are our age, basically, who remember Fanny the Wonder Dog, there is a bonus point if you know what breed of dog Fanny the Wonder Dog is. And if Joe, I know you know, and if
I saw her live once.
Me too. We're going to talk about that. And if Joe is watching from Beautiful and 41 Monkgate, it's the same breed of dog as your doggy. So if you know what breed, well, I think Joe does know.
Question marks of Instagram.
Oh,
so gorgeous. Right then.
Next question.
Is it moi again?
It's you, my darling.
Oh, another of the world's greatest, fabulous performers. Who is this fabulous queen? And then he famously once said, "Too much of a good thing can be wonderful."
Oh my, I remember him on television when I was younger. And I have to say, you have to be of a certain age to remember this lovely gentleman.
Yeah, maybe. But he was very, very famous. And there was a film about him not that long ago with Matt Damon in it.
Really? I didn't see that.
Have you not seen it? It's superb.
I think maybe that's one for the list. Since we're in lockdown, we're going through all the films, aren't we?
Yes.
I really
Michael Douglas plays him.
Does
he? And Matt Damon plays the boyfriend.
All right, lovely. Oh, well, we'll find out who that is when we get to the answers. But I do remember him from when I was a child. He was
great. A classic.
And next, now, this is the very, very, very wonderful musical theatre and Torchwood star. Who is this playing Zaza in La Cage aux Folles? And as the lyrics say, and pleased to hear that I'm not going to give you a song. You'll be
so dazzled by the ambience you're in. You'll never notice that they're watering the gin.
You can't stop her, people. We can't stop her. So who is that fabulous gentleman? I love him. I'm a massive fan. And I know we're going to talk about him in the answers, but he is exactly the same age as me. And I have to say,
25.
Yes, 25. He's worn really well. Although John goes, I'm forgiving. Oh no! I gave the name away.
Lord.
Who could stop me? Stop Go back to the brown hair. The grey's not good. Don't do a Philip Schofield. Go back to the brown. Right.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Right.
I've got nothing. I don't see why everyone doesn't dye their hair forever. Me, I'm never going to go grey meat.
Who wants to die forever?
Well, actually, I am going grey at the moment, but that's because I can't get out of the bloody house.
Well, here we are. We're another week with roots. Another week with like no social intercourse, as it were.
Apart from this, hello everyone.
God, I wish we could see you. I know you can see us. We would love.
Yeah, we wish we could see you guys. Anyway.
All right, on with the answers. That's the end of that round. Let's go to the answers because we've got a very exciting round next.
Okie dokie. So question one, of course, is everyone should have got this. This is the wonderful and fabulous and forever Sir Elton John.
I'm still standing. Yeah. Oh, did you see him? I know we're going to talk about other things, but did you see him on that? There was a weird, I can't think, what was it called? One Earth or something, this anyway. And he sang I'm Still Standing, but he sang it really weirdly, really clipped. I didn't like the diction in it.
Oh, funny.
I'm sorry about that.
It's funny actually how a lot of really famous performers change their style as they get older. I suppose to cope with the way their voices have changed.
Oh, exactly. Because
I went to see Bob Dylan in Hyde Park last year, and you wouldn't have recognised it at all. I mean, obviously you knew what the song was because you knew what the song was, but it didn't sound anything like him. So I guess people just change as they get a bit older.
They do. Well, your voice generally lowers, so you can't hit the high notes quite so. The high notes.
Right. Yes. So anyway, I was going to tell you a little bit about
Tell us something else about Elton John.
Well, because of course we they are supposed to be vaguely connected with gin in some way.
You're only ever.
Elton John did love a gin and tonic throughout his life. I've just finished reading his autobiography, Me, which is superb, by the way. And one of the things he tells us is he always ordered a gin and tonic. And one of the places he liked to go most was a lovely trendy club in London called the Cromwellian. Ooh. And he would go there with his then band, Bluesology. And there was apparently this amazing barman called Harry Hart, who was very, very camp and very fab. And he had this big vase next to the till, and no one quite knew what went on with this vase until one day Elton went up and said, "Gin and tonic, Harry, and one for yourself." And he goes, "Ooh, bone of love. Thank you very much. Thank you, darling." And poured a couple of neat gins into this vase. So obviously Harry, the happy barman, was helping himself to neat gin in between serving his customers. So yeah, cheers. I'm with you, mate. I do like it neat, as we all know.
And as a little bonus, did we say who he was married to? Did we do all that?
Oh yes, the lovely David Furnish.
Yes. And where is Sir Elton from?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yes, of course. It all goes on in Northwood Hills, doesn't it?
Northwood Hills.
Not only do they make royal dresses in Northwood Hills, they also have the Northwood Hills pub, which is where Reginald Dwight started out. Emma Godivala's local.
I have to.
Fat Reg from Pinner, they used to call him.
That's right. Well, I lived in Pinner for quite a number of years, and I never saw Elton John, but there you go.
Yeah, well, there you go. You were probably there a bit later, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. He'd probably made his gazillions by the time I lived in Pinner.
I think so.
I think for sure. Right.
But anyway, yeah, the Northwood Hills is quite clearly the epicentre of royal fabulousness.
I would say so. And Pinner, don't darling, Pinner.
Don't forget Pinner.
We are on the Met Line, you know. It's very jolly. Anyway, question 2. We have the equally fabulous Julian Clary. And who did he want to spend his afternoons drinking G&Ts with? Well, of course, it was his lovely husband, Ian. Now, in this picture, we see Julian, we see a doggy, we see his beautiful house.
2 doggies.
We don't see, 2 doggies, and we can't see Ian. So we can only assume that Ian is taking the photo. And that's what we're going to. So do you remember, because Joe and I were at uni at similar times, and do you remember that when he used to do the uni circuit? So he came.
Oh yeah, with the Joan Collins fan club.
Joan Collins fan club, and I was going out with a particularly gobby Leeds person at the time, and honestly, Julian Clary just cut him down. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I was there stroking fans.
Hold on, can we just rewind there a second? Are you saying gobbier than you?
Yeah. If 'twas possible, if was ever possible.
If 'twere possible.
If 'twere possible. Yes. And so I was there stroking Fanny and what? What are you talking about, Joe?
Get back to your royal jewels, mate.
Yeah.
Get back to your royal jewels. Go and polish them.
So anyway, so he was ripped to shreds. But the bonus point, of course, was what breed of dog is Fanny? And Fanny's a whippet. Fanny is a whippet, and she was beautiful, and he was devastated when Fanny died.
No wonder.
Oh, because he was just, they were just together for so many years. Now we can't go there.
Gorgeous.
But because Julian's had quite a varied career, and it didn't go down well when he said something rather rude at an awards ceremony, which if you Google it, it will come straight up. And he sort of lost his way for a few years there in his career. But he also came back with a bounce when he went into Strictly, and he came third in Strictly with Erin. Do you know lovely Erin, who partners Anton? And he came third in Strictly, I think it was in 2004. And he also won Celebrity Big Brother in 2012. So, reality TV, well, whatever. It did all right for Julian.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. Yes, I mean, the thing that he said probably wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I don't know. People's sensibilities change over the years, don't they? Anyway, right. So, and the answer to our next lovely, wonderful queen of the entertainment circuit is Liberace. Once described himself as a one-man Disneyland. Oh, he's just fantastic. I absolutely love him. Do you know he learned to play piano at the age of 4?
Gracious.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a debut as a soloist with Chicago Symphony at the age of just 20.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was in where was he now? He was in the Guinness Book of Records as the highest paid showman, and he played the fastest pianist of all time at something like 6,000 keys in 2 minutes.
Oh my God, that's
lovely.
It
was amazing. You just had to love him, and all his candelabra and his amazing outfits, all the ermine, and
I know, and
a real star.
That's what I remember. A real old-fashioned star. He was always like way over the top dress. He always had candelabras on the piano, didn't he? And it was
totally brilliant. A one-off.
And then from one showman to another. I know I said the word John. I'm really sorry, people. Of course, it is the utterly fabulous John Barrowman. We love John Barrowman. Joe and I have seen John Barrowman several times.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've actually also seen him in La Cage aux Folles.
We saw him in this very, very outfit. And I do have to be honest. I prefer him as a bloke than a woman. I think his features are quite chiseled, and I think he really suits. Although he's a beautiful woman too, but I actually prefer him as a bloke. We've
seen him from very close up at York Barbican.
Yes, we have.
We're just sat there going, I know you're gay, but I do love you.
We love you, John. Now tell us the other story. You've got a cracking story about when we saw. I don't think I was with you this one when you saw somebody in the toilets, didn't you?
Yeah, the next time I went to see La Cage aux Folles, I saw what did I see?
It's a different
Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross, that's right. You did see Jonathan Ross in the toilets because, if I remember rightly, Joe, I think I was with you.
And Cole, what's his name? He was
Cole Wilkinson from
Cole Wilkinson.
But wasn't that because the queue for the ladies was so long?
Massive. So Cole Wilkinson, I'd caught his eye earlier in the foyer.
Of course, as you would.
Yeah, little catch of the eye there. And then he saw me in the queue for the ladies, and he came all the way up the stairs, took me by the hand. Yeah, and took me all the way down to the gents, which was empty. And as I was going in, Jonathan Ross was coming out, and I went, "Oh, sorry," and he went, "No problem, madam."
No problem.
And I was deposited in the gents for a quicker out.
A quick in and out. Well, he's utterly fabulous. We love Jonathan Ross. We love John Barrowman even more, to be honest.
We love John Barrowman even more. We love Cole Meany. Cole Meany. I do love Cole Meany. That's what I meant.
I think if he comes back to York Barbican, we'd go again, wouldn't we?
Oh gosh, yeah.
In a heartbeat. We definitely. Anytime. So the good news is that is the end of round 2. Who knew? Right.
Ding.
Right then. I'm doing really well with this one. That's nearly finished.
Yeah, I've nearly finished that. I'm on to the Divine next, so we'll see how we go.
We're going to go through next. Excellent. And on we go with round 3. Now, round 3 is called Queens on Screen.
Okay, so this wonderful daughter of York. Is Dame Judy. We all know her. She's a national treasure. She'll tell you herself.
She will.
She's pictured here in Shakespeare in Love as Queen Elizabeth I, and in I'm not sure which one that is actually. If that's Victoria and Abdul or Mr. Brown.
I don't know. She looked a bit similar in both, didn't she?
She played Queen Victoria in both of those. They were both amazing films. But anyway, so that's not the question, but that's just an aside. So she is actually the patron of a charity.
Yeah.
Is it Gin? Greyhounds in Need. ice, Impala's counter extinction.
Yes.
Or C, tonic, tortoises, or narcotics in chaos.
Those blooming tortoises, they're always in chaos.
They're shocking.
Oh, what are they thinking?
Shocking.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So there is the very lovely Dame.
They need our help.
They do need our help, those tortoises, right? Question 2. This lady is not a daughter of York. This is the very, very beautiful Scarlett Johansson, and she starred in The Other Boleyn Girl. But
if you're watching, Russell Bennett, stop looking.
Stop looking. She used to be married to Ryan Reynolds. Now, Ryan Reynolds has a gin company. So what we would like to know is, what is the name of Ryan Reynolds' gin company? Is it Flying Low? Is it Aviation? Or is it Mile High Gin? Now, Hilary Harrison, you should know this. We've been on enough Delta flights to know the gin that is served on a Delta flight. So is it Flying Low? Is it Aviation? Or is it Mile High Gin? I know the answer.
She'll know.
She'll know. Hilary will know.
Right then. Next question. Olivia Colman has famously played 2 queens.
Yes.
Oh, the wonderful Olivia. Who doesn't love her? What a star. So can you give me the name of both of the queens she has played? If you don't know one of the queens, but you know the name of the film, we'll take that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she won an Oscar for that one. So you might remember the name of the film, but not quite sure who the queen is. But anyway, I'll take either of those.
Excellent.
And there she goes. The gorgeous.
There she goes. Brilliant. Okay, next question. This beautiful lady here played the queen in the film The Queen, and she said, "Never drink alcohol unless you are celebrating something." Oh, I can't read it. Something or something. I haven't got
upset on something.
Or if it's a day that ends in the letter Y, and never drink while driving. So what I would like to know is, who played Elizabeth II in this film, The Queen? And when we do the answers, I'm going to make you a cocktail that was made especially for this film.
Excellent.
On you go, Jojo.
Excellente. Right then. It's a bit of a cheat, this one, if we're quite honest, but here we go. We take it where we can.
We can.
This is Claire Foy, who shares her name with this lovely Cornish gin. It's called Foy Gin. From the Foy Valley, obviously pronounced the same way, but spelt rather differently. Can you name the 2 queens that Claire has played for us on the small screen?
I think I probably can.
She's also played another queen on stage. And well.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like
stage.
Her. I like her a lot, actually. I like her. I think she's
a
good actor.
Very good actor.
Yeah, I like her a lot. Right, next question. Here's a treat for us all. Who starred in The King's Speech and The Kingsman? See what I did there, Joe?
Oh, I like that.
Films. And when we come to the answers, there's a real treat in store for us.
I'm just going to say in advance.
So who played in the leads in The King's Speech and The Kingsman films? Next to you.
Okie dokie. Now then.
Ooh.
This is Cate Blanchett, as you can see, obviously. She was nominated for an Oscar for her part as Carol, who loved martinis in the film. Can you tell me any of the films in which Kate has played a queen? Now, I actually I didn't meet her, that's over-egging the pudding. I ran into Cate Blanchett coming out of the ladies at the BAFTA ceremony. I was lucky enough to go to the BAFTAs, and she came out looking very ethereal and fabulous. Gorgeous.
Jo,
so, yes.
Is there anywhere you haven't been?
No, darling. I'm trying to find somewhere new.
There isn't anywhere new. There's nowhere new. And the good news is that actually brings us, I think, to the end of that round.
Oh, Helen Reynolds has just swallowed a pip. Yeah, you see, the Queen was right. No pips in your lemon.
You see, the Queen knows. No pips in your lemon. That's what it is.
Oops-a-daisy.
Oops. I think we've finished the round, so we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Think about the answers, and I've got yet more cocktails to make, so I better have a think about that as well. But I think question 1 is you, my darling.
Thank goodness for that, for you.
I know, for me, thank God.
So here we go. Obviously, the answer here is greyhounds in need.
But what about the tortoises?
Yeah, well, we can look after them, but Judi Dench doesn't need to. Here's Dame Judy having a drink for one of our fellow brewers in York called Brew York.
Yeah.
And it's called a Dame Judy Quench.
Yeah.
We actually have our own lovely York gin beer called Juniper.
She needs one
so
of those.
Maybe she might like to try one of those
I
next.
think she should. I think I like that. Well, good on you, Dame Judy, because she is a daughter of York. We like that. She's also a patron of the theatre that Joe and I are. What are we? We're trustees of.
We're board members.
We're board members. Oh, that makes us sound terribly important.
Well, we are terribly important.
Do you think? We are board members at Theatre at 41, which is in Monkgate in York. So what do you call it? We call it 41 Monkgate, don't we? So it's an amazing little theatre. Is that a stiffy, my darling? You're putting a right face. What's going on?
I don't pull a face like that at a stiffy, trust me.
above the waistline, darling, above the waistline. Anyway, we love Dame Judy. She is a daughter of York and she supports many things. I think she should definitely support the tortoises, though. That's what she needs to support. They're in chaos.
It's supposed to be a heart, not a tortoise, mind you. It probably did look more like
what was that? All right. Enough of Dame Judy. Right. We want to know about the gin. Ryan Reynolds. Now he's quite a lovely.
He's a bit of all right.
He's a bit of all right. Now he runs a company called Aviation Gin, and it's all a bit guffy. They say it's American dry rather than London dry, but it's all just a bit guffy. But it is served on Delta Airways. I've had it loads of times. It's not nearly as good as York gin, I'll tell you that. But he had a famous fallout with Hugh Jackman. He had a famous huge. But I think they've made up because Hugh Jackman was papped the other day in head to foot aviation. Had the baseball cap and the t-shirt and the joggy bottoms, all with Aviation Gin. So my guess is they've made up.
They must have made up. Oh, we've got Darren Lumby with us tonight.
Hi, Darren. I hope you've made the cocktails. Mine's almost done, unfortunately. But the good news is I'm making another any second. So that's right.
Yes, any second. Well, also, you've got every single York gin at your fingertips, so you're not going to go dry, are you?
No, it's not a dry do. Nobody likes a dry do
here. Right, okay,
no.
next answer. So this is the lovely Olivia Colman. She was much more drink even than me. When she went to pick up her Oscar for the second one of these. So, of course, Olivia has played Queen Anne in The Favourite.
Yes.
And Elizabeth II in the wonderful Netflix series, The Crown.
Yes.
She was a bit on the tipsy side when she went to pick up her
Oscar.
Her Oscar, but who wouldn't? Who blames her? Anyway, apparently, so yes, we have got an allowance for letting her into our quiz because her favourite drink is a gin and tonic and elderflower cordial. So,
okay, with an
cheers to you, Olivia.
Cheers to you. You quite like an elderflower cordial. Do you not like a Hugo as well?
I love it. It's one of my favourites. Hugo.
That one's gone. Excellent. So next. So I quite like. Oh, here we go. Here's Helen Mirren. Yes, it's always Helen Mirren. Now Helen Mirren is a foxy lady. She is amazing. We love her. Look at her there. Is that what was she called there? She was called Morgan something.
It's Morgana. She's Morgana Fay. And was it? Oh gosh.
Excalibur or something like
Excalibur that. It was indeed Excalibur, that's right.
Well, the good news is that when she played in the film The Queen, there was a cocktail specially made for that. So I'm just going to make it for you now. And luckily, eagle-eyed viewers will notice I'm using the large side again. So sorry about that. So
you're a shocker.
Shocker. We're going to use Grey Lady because Grey Lady has a little touch of Earl Grey tea in there. It also has some blue pea flower in there and some added citrus. It's very light. It's very delicate. In fact, we've been drinking it this week, if you can tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two large measures of Grey Lady in there. There it goes. That's one.
No, I don't like Earl Grey tea at all, but I love that gin. I love it.
All right. Well, sadly, you're not going to like this cocktail, darling, because I'm about to pour 2 large measures of Earl Grey tea, which
no, it wouldn't be one for me.
Here we go. There's one I made earlier. That's 2 large shots of Earl Grey tea, so that's going to go in there as well. Oh, I think I'm making quite a lot this time. I'm going to put a little bit of lemon juice. So here's one I squeezed earlier. There we go.
Nice say.
Now, you could put, if you've got a sweeter tooth, you could put a little bit of sugar in there. But I don't drink sugar in my tea. I don't drink I don't have sugar in anything, to be honest. So I'm not going to put any sugar in there and just see how I get on. So I'm going to give that a little shake. Well, actually, I'm going to give it a really delicate shake. It doesn't need to be like, you know, you don't have to be like Hugh Laurie. And then I'm going to have that. I've got another cocktail glass here. I'm just going to pop a couple of cubes of melting ice in there now. And then I'm going to pour that.
Did you know you can use blue pea flour for sourdough?
I did not know that.
I did not know. Naomi Smith is on the hunt for some of that, if anybody knows where to get some.
And what
I never even knew there was such a beast.
No, me neither. And what I'm going to garnish this with is some lime wheels. I'm going to put 2 in there because I quite like a limey flavour.
You're a limey.
And something bit the dust. So as we discovered earlier, limey, of course, are named for sailors. I've never been a sailor. Actually, I have got a story about me being a sailor, but we haven't got enough time to talk about me being a sailor. So I will just see what this is like.
Helen Reynolds, no, the little measure never gets used. Just get used to it being always a double.
Well, we know we're all actually free pourers. Nobody.
Exactly. Like in Spain, the Larios. Cheers. Oh, and Julian Vallis, not Yorkshire tea. No, sorry. I mean, it has to be your Earl Grey for this.
It has to be the
one.
And do you know what? I wasn't sure whether I would like this. And the only thing I would change, I would put a little bit more lemon juice in there because it's got a really ginny flavour. It's got a really Earl Grey flavour. And I'd like a little bit more lemon because I can taste the lime quite a lot, but I can't taste the lemon juice that I've put in there. So cheers. I would say that's a winner for me. And it was made specially for the Queen, the film.
It was, yes, indeed. Gorgeous. Sandra Lim says that blue pea flour grows like a weed in Asia. Well, who knew?
Who knew?
Probably that's where we're getting it from.
Blue pea flour is quite tricky to say.
Blue pea flour. It's quite rare actually, and it's quite an expensive ingredient, I think, for our. Yeah, that's one of the things that we use for Grey Lady because it makes it look very mercurial. It's something we made for the York Theatre Royal. A ghost.
Hang on, here it is. Look, I don't know whether you'll ever see. Can you see? It's like got a bluey tinge to it.
It's kind of mercurial, and that's thanks to the pea flour that we try to get it to look kind of silvery, kind of ghostly.
Yeah. You know what? I hadn't had a lot because I'd been in America for quite a while and I hadn't actually had it when we were allowed to sell it in the shop. But now it's fast becoming one of my favourites. I just like
it's so delicate, isn't it?
Oh, it's so delicate. It's so fresh. And that is lovely. So I could be on a sticky wicket and we've got another show to do tomorrow. So I could be on a sticky
wicket. Daisy. Hi, Phil. Our lovely Philip Barton. He teaches me horse riding when we can actually get out and about.
And he's another one.
Writes wonderful novels.
He's another one of our trustees at Monkgate, isn't he? 41 Monkgate. There you go. Thanks, Phil. Right, next question.
Next question. Here we have.
She is.
Again in The Crown. She's played Elizabeth II in The Crown. Apparently, Susanna was saying that Queen Elizabeth doesn't actually mind this section of The Crown because I think
she's gorgeous.
But she is gorgeous, and maybe it's because it's quite a long time ago and it's not too recent history to make it too painful. And the other Queen, of course, is here. Queen Anne Boleyn in Wolf Hall, the Hilary Mantel story that's made for TV there.
No, well done, Claire. She's
yes. And I love Claire Foy. She's super.
Should we not have a Lady Baines and a Lady Heard gin? What's going on?
I know. Get on it.
Rubbish. Right. Now, here's a treat for us all. Who played in The Kingsman? And there he is. It's the utterly fabulous Colin Firth. One for the ladies of our age, Joe. Now, interesting. Now, the reason I've included this, there has to be a gin link. There's always has to be a gin link. Now, the gin link here is that the Kingsman films especially the second film, was actually filmed in Berry Brothers and Rudd, which is sort of a very British wine merchant down in London, in St James's in London. And they filmed a lot of the series there, and the film there. What they did, Berry Brothers, they actually made a special edition gin to go with the film because they said that the qualities you need to be a Kingsman and the qualities you need in a gin are very similar. And I quote, I might have to put my specs on for this bit because I can read my writing. They said, you need sophistication, integrity, and style are all paramount. And I would agree with that. I would certainly agree with that. Now, we've got a gratuitous shot of Colin Firth because we love him. Here he is.
Take your shirt off.
Take your shirt off, Colin. Oh, do you know what? He is my secret crush. I actually really like Colin Firth.
Secret? You don't need to make him a secret crush. He's gorgeous.
I think actually, as he's got older, I mean, he was all right in there in his West.
Always lovely.
But I think in recent films, so I was watching a couple of interviews with him this week, just to, obviously research only, and he was just like, I quite like him. From me.
Yeah, no, I think he's pretty gorgeous. There's a little message here from Helen Mirren who says York Gin is getting her through the mirror and the light. Ooh, the latest Hilary Mantel novel.
Oh, get you.
And Veronica Harnett has spent more on gin than food this month.
We applaud you. We applaud you for that. Well done. Well done. Next question, Jojo.
Oh. Flicking right over. Okay, so the gorgeous my best friend, Kate Blanchett, has played Galadriel in Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films. There she is, looking terribly ethereal and stunning on the right. And Elizabeth I twice. Yeah. Once in Elizabeth, and then again in Elizabeth the Golden Age. So there she is.
I think of her as that Galadriel person.
Oh, I know, she's stunning, isn't she? Absolutely gorgeous. So she obviously likes a drink or two. Apparently when she was filming Blue Jasmine, the one that she won the Oscar for, she was famously quoted as saying, "Who do you have to sleep with around here to get a Dolly Martini with a twist of lemon?"
Now, there is a very bad story about me. Do you remember years? I'm not going to tell the story, but I will say, do you remember when Ab Fab was on and they drank Stolly Bollies?
Yeah.
So God, no, I'm not going to tell the full story, but I once had a very nasty evening on Stolly Bollies. Very nasty.
You can't just leave it at that.
No. The problem was I like a Stolly Bolly, okay? Who knew? But I was at a party and I was sleeping over, and I also had this is very, very, I had children with me, my husband, maybe it was like, anyway, unfortunately, the Stolly Bollies, because I hadn't been drinking, because I had young children, I went straight to my head and I was put to bed before 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's a shocker.
It's a shocker. It's an absolute shocker. So the good news is that is the end of round 3. So if you got all the questions right, hooray! If you didn't get any right, who cares? Nobody minds. So the good news is that is the end of that. So as always, we have a bonus question. The bonus question is always a number. Here it is. The bonus question for this evening is, how many units of alcohol does the Queen, now here's the famous word, reportedly drink per year? How many units of alcohol does Her Madge drink per year?
Yeah, and we're talking the unit she admits to, not what the doctor thinks, and as in doubling it.
No, that's right, because we're never truthful, are we? When we go to the doctor and he says, how many units of alcohol do you drink? We lie. And so, and in my doctors, I'm down as a light drinker. How about you?
Oh, Natalie Cuthbert, that's not a sick bucket. It's a hat box.
It's a hat. Natalie, where were you for the hat box question?
It's a Queen Mother's hat box question, darling.
That's where she kept her gin and Dubai. Natalie, what are you thinking? Natalie's obviously joined late, but we'll forgive you. As long as you've got a drink in your hand, Natalie, that's okay. That was the question about the Queen. So,
right then, the amount of units.
No, we're not telling her the answer. No, we're not giving the answer. Don't say it. Because first of all, we're going to give you the code for this week. The code is going to be Queen, of course. Queen will get you 10% off York Gin on www.yorkgin.com. And this week we are raising money again for our fabulous St Leonard's Hospice. Now, what I need to tell you, if you cut back to me on the photos, is that this fabulous limited edition York Gin Classic St Leonard's Hospice special is actually nearly sold out. So there are not many left.
Richard Tanner Smith, you're very close.
Oh, what did he say? I can't read it because I've got my bins
2,000 units. Sorry.
He is
to interrupt there. You go on.
Very close. So this St Leonard's gin is really, really, really close to selling out. If you want one, you need to get online now. It's actually a little bit cheaper. I don't know why, but just for charity, I think. But a little bit cheaper than our classic gin, and there's classic gin inside here. So I think this retails, am I right in thinking £35? Is that what we're saying?
I think that's right, isn't it? So it's a little bit cheaper, and some money goes to charity.
Yes, a lot of money goes to charity from this bottle, but there aren't many left. So if you want one, absolutely buy one now. And you can, I think, I don't think.
Sam heard a few more. Harriet, hello.
Hello. I think you need.
Harriet,
no, keep those numbers going. Remember the Queen. Remember what she drinks. Well, we haven't actually told you what she drinks. We will tell you that in a minute. Joe, are you nearly ready with our spot prize? Oh, I can't even say that. Spot prize winner. What?
A sprit did
Oh,
yes, our spot prize winner is Naomi W. Smith.
Well done, Naomi. And if you message us, there will be a gin prize winging its way.
Which is yes, Jenny Roper. Lots and lots is definitely
lots and lots. Now, I think it's only fair that we go back and find out how many units reportedly. Remember,
only what she admits to.
Oh, exactly. So let's reportedly find out how many units the Queen drinks. Now, reportedly, she drinks 2,190 units, which equates to an average of 6 a day. Now, how that breaks down, what we know about the Queen. Oh, hello, you all right, Joe? What we know about the Queen is she likes, sadly, I've drunk it. She does like her Dubonnet and gin before lunch. She likes an aperitif. She likes a martini, doesn't she? She enjoys a martini. I haven't got any more empty glasses, so she enjoys a martini.
No more empty glasses.
And I've only got I don't know what I've got.
Lots of full ones.
Yay! And in the evening, she enjoys at least 1 glass of wine or a glass of champagne. I hope she drinks Cat. I wonder what brand of champagne she likes. Do we know that? We don't know that.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
But she likes at least a glass of champagne. So I have to say that is a conservative estimate on 6 units a day, which equates to, as we've said, 190. Now, according to UK government standards, they are going to send me to the tower. There's no hope. According to UK government standards, that actually is a binge drinker. Oh, well, it's not for us to say. What we want to say is happy birthday, Your Majesty, and continue drinking.
I'll see if I can find a drink with anything left in it so I can taste it.
I liked this one. This royal tea is actually very nice. I like it. I'm
very good. I've still got a little bit of the Queen Mother's. Well, I threw my maraschino cherries in there as well while I was at it.
Oh, you're at it. Throw them in there. No problem. So what we need to say is, obviously, every week we do have a charity button on the webpage, and this week we're back to St Leonard's Hospice, and they are an amazing cause. As I said, we're very short now of our limited edition, so if you want one, now is the time. We say thank you to St Leonard's Hospice for all you do. We say stay safe, stay inside. Our other thank yous include, but there are others as well. Obviously, the wonderful Emma, the fantastic Simon, even. Well, I think I've had too much gin. Simon, we've got everybody at York Gin. We won an amazing award, and that is down to every single person who works for York Gin. Thank you. From my side of things, always thank you to Will, who looks after my technicals, because I'm shocking at technicals. Jojo, thank you. It's been a pleasure as always. We love you all. Good night.
Take care.
If you like us, we'll come back next week. If you don't like us, we won't. Yay! Love you.
Take care. Bye.